Today I'm going to be playing some Evolve Shaman, based around Boggspine Knuckles, because the deck got some pretty good new tools in United and Stormwind. The most obvious of those is going to be Tiny Toys, which gives you 4 understated 5-drops, so you just evolve those, and on turn 6 you get 4 fully statted 6-drops, which is really, really powerful. Another support card it got is Goldshire Gnoll, which is similar to the old Mogu Flesh Shaper, right? It's just a big, really expensive minion that you can play for pretty cheap. And to an extent, I've built my deck kind of with the idea of supporting the Goldshire Gnoll. So I have a lot of things that draw cards. I've got Cornelius Roam, Primal Dungeoneers, Wand Makers, Encumbered Pack Mules. I'm even playing Deep Run Engineer, a couple of Cage Match Custodians, and then we can even draw some more cards with Bolner Hammerbeak. So this deck keeps a pretty big hand size to enable the Gnoll, and to an extent also to enable Derailed Coaster, another good Evolve card. And then I think the only other new card I'm playing is Canal Slogger, which is just an insane Shaman card. Particularly since this deck can sometimes struggle with aggression. And I'm doing reasonably well with this deck so far. Currently sitting at 12-8, so a 60% win rate. The most noteworthy matchups are that I am 5-0 against Paladin, which seems to be one of the hot decks right now. But I am 1-4 against Rogue, which also seems to be another hot deck right now. And with the Boggspine Knuckles, feel reasonably confident that we can keep up the win streak.
May the light grant you peace.
I like Wand Maker over Deep Run Engineer because of Hand of It All. Oh man, I have Boggspine Knuckles into Tiny Toys, so probably not playing Canal Slogger on curve, and I guess I could play Perpetual Flame this turn maybe, depending on what the board looks like, but seems unlikely. That seems not great, so I'll take it. Another Wand Maker. Sure. Play the Guidance. These both seem pretty useful. Man, Canal Slogger Landslide could be insane later in the game. Assuming the game isn't just over on turn 6. Which it could be. Annoyatron's probably my best hit here. These are all mediocre.
The wand picks you.
Let me think. Reporting for duty.
The wand picks you.
I think I just chill here.
Let me think.
The light dims.
That's a bit scary, and the Righteous Protector is definitely annoying when I want to play, or when I want to hit with my weapon, that is. Oh man, this is an interesting turn. My instinct says Null Bloom Toys. But if I do that, there's a very good chance I just die. I've seen 2 buff spells already. Maybe this is the Slogger Landslide turn. I don't know, it's not that good. I'm just gonna go for this. I almost don't want to evolve here. A lot of nice taunts, but it's gotta be worth the stats. Oh, and sometimes you just hit the rabbit and the game ends. Beautiful. So we hit for 24 here. I don't think I want to evolve this board. The death rattles in particular are really nice.
I'm the hand of the king.
Have you no respect for the dead?
Alright, do I have yeah, I guess I do have lethal if my opponent conceded.
I will fight with honor. You stand before King Rastakhan.
Weapon, tiny toys? Love to see it. I can coin out Knuckles and then play Derailed Coaster on 5 leading into the tiny toys. That's pretty good. I don't know if I need to keep the coaster though. Probably rather just curve out. Like, weapon tiny toys should be good enough on its own that I don't need another big evolve thing to keep. Okay, we both drew our weapons. Seems like it'll be a fair game.
The light dims, but we fight. You don't pick the wand.
Playing this here does let the opponent break their Divine Shield. But I think that's fine. Also, Revolve is insane in this matchup. I can play Gnoll and then coin Revolve here, right? I might just do that.
More bones to gnaw.
3 mana 10/10.
The light protects me.
Do I want to Revolve again here? Pitmaster Revolve is pretty fine. I could like trade this and then kind of heal it, but I could also hit Yogg, which just makes this smaller even after the trade. But I could hit Deathwing, I could hit Scrapyard Colossus. Let's just play this thing.
Sworn it went back together.
The Annoyatron seems annoying. Could Revolve and then play Annoyatron. I guess the Revolve's actually insane here because getting rid of the Divine Shield means like -1/-1 to the opponent's hand. I guess I am just gonna Revolve here. Whatever. Oh, and I upgraded my minion. I probably should have just gone face with Yashiraj, considering that I was killing not a 4/2 but a random 1-drop. But I feel like if I can just control the board, I have weapon into tiny toys. Like, that's just gonna win me the game, right? My opponent didn't have to trade off their 1/1 there.
The light protects me.
Am I trading again? I think I'm a bit of a trader. 6 health on this. I think I'll keep the weapon charges. Tiny toys into Pitmaster is really nice. Okay. I will probably use my Deathwing to kill that. Pretty good 6-drops overall. The 6/3 is obviously trash. But the rest of them are fine. I do have a Bolner plus Pitmaster combo. I don't know if I really need to do that. Kind of just want to evolve all this stuff and play Cornelius to end the turn. How much damage do I even have? This is 8 plus 12 is 23. Pretty good odds at hitting Bolt off Wandmaker, but that'd be 1-off lethal. Let's just go face and play Cornelius. Oh. Pretty bad 7s, but the Alabaster's cool, I guess. I drew 2 broomsticks off my Cornelius. Well, even with 2 7-mana 5/5s, it's hard to imagine losing the game from this position. That thing is gonna have taunt, but I can just run this into it. Oh, dude, my Alabaster's insane here. Oh, it didn't get rush. Unfortunate. So I just kill it with the Mage Hunter. They were pretty dead though anyway, because I have like Canal Slogger and I have broomsticks. I even had this Carriel Roam. Alright, I get my revenge against a Mage. I think I made a pretty big mistake in my last matchup against this class, so I'm happy to see it again. And you love to hit Cage Match Custodian off the mulligan. And even with the Cage Match Custodian, pretty happy to see the second Boggspine Knuckles, although it might be a bit slow against Mage playing both weapons. Love to see Incanters flow on too. Yikes. I can just play this here for tempo, or I can hold it as a Bolner activator. Or I could just play Bolner here, I guess. Don't really have a way to use it, but I have a lot of stuff I could draw into that would be pretty good. Probably not much point in playing it. So this is the weird thing about the Canal Slogger. If I play it next turn, I'm overloaded on my weapon turn, which I don't love. Oh, double Incanters flow by turn 3. Love to see it. I don't know. I guess I'll just play Tempo Bolner. This game's over. I don't think that deck can ever lose if it has double Incanters flow on turn 3. Maybe if I draw Tiny Toys for turn 6, but probably not even then. Yeah, Rush Minion, why not? Who doesn't love a good Rush Minion? Well, I guess I'm happy to see an early cram session. Somehow my Boggspine Knuckles is pretty terrible here.
More bones
But I can still play a Goldshire Gnoll. Of course, it's Oasis ally. Sure. Maybe it was worth just revolving here. Give me something playable. Overdraft? Sure. Oh, tiny toys. You do love to see those tiny toys.
No littering.
Have I attacked face with a weapon yet? I have not, right? So this could be Ice Barrier, but it could also be a spell secret. So I might just burn the Revolve next turn and then play tiny toys.
I have proven myself. I demand answers.
That's actually pretty good to Revolve if it doesn't get counterspelled. Also good to Revolve. Oh, a third Incanter's Flow. I was feeling bad for my opponent that they were having to spend mana on some of their cards, so that's good. Would I rather Revolve or Lightning Bloom get counterspelled? Probably Revolve. Can bloom out Broomstick, which would help with this board a lot, but as I said, Revolve helps with it quite a bit too. I can Broomstick in the Tarantula here. And my Quillboard can go face, so sick. All of these are really mediocre except for Cairn. Well, at least my opponent's out of cards. So I'm always equipping the weapon here. Do I even play a Pack Mule? I guess I don't really want to eat 3 damage for free. Probably just have to go in here. It's kind of garbage, but whatever. Not great. But it is a lot of pressure. My opponent's at 18, looking at 14. I'm really scared of this card that they kept in their hand with 7 mana last turn. Oh, okay. I don't actually know if that changes much.
Looking for 40, 45, 40, 500.
Alright, all depends on what they draw this turn. I think the last Ignite did 6. I am dead to it. Oh no, this one only does 6. Okay, nice. Apparently that deck can lose with Incanter's Flows. So I have played quite a bit with this deck at this point, and for the most part I think I'm pretty happy with the list. I do think the interaction between Knuckles and Tiny Toys is really insane in particular matchups. But I think there are a few changes I would make to the deck. The first of those changes is that I kind of want to drop the Deep Run Engineers. I mean, it's a good thing to evolve, but it's just such a low quality card. I figured if I wasn't going to play it here, there's nowhere I would play it, so I gave it a shot, and I think it's bad. Another card I might cut is Revolve. It is pretty good specifically with Tiny Toys, and sometimes with the Goldshire Gnoll, but there were a lot of games where it was just kind of useless. But it is good against Paladin in particular, because they buff their minions a lot. And like maybe it's good against Rogue to deal with a stealth minion, but it's a little bit sketchy. Another card that's potentially sketchy is Canal Slogger. In some games it's really insane, but in other games playing a 4-drop that overloads you going into Boggspine Knuckles is pretty bad. So it's a little bit of a sketchy card. But I would say that the Slogger and the Revolve are both still up in the air, unlike the Deep Run Engineer. I guess another card that's up in the air is actually the Derailed Coaster. This deck does tend to keep a pretty big hand size, but sometimes it does it with like Wandmaker, and then like Primal Dungeoneer and Cage Match Custodian also draw non-minions. So it is a bit awkward, but it's also just a really good enabler for the Boggspine Knuckles. So I think it's probably worth keeping in. I'm not entirely sure what I'm replacing the Engineers with. You could replace it pretty directly with Pandaren Importer, but I don't know how often this effect is good in Shaman when we play only 3 of the Shaman spells to start with. I think something else that might be worth trying out is the SI7 Skulker. The Battle Cry can maybe help you ramp out a weapon or a Tiny Toys a little bit early, depending on how things go. You can even do like a bit of targeted draw with this card with a Custodian or a Dungeoneer, although I'm not sure that it hits like great breakpoints on the turns that you play them. But it is something you could do. And I think it has a lot of high roll potential. Like if you're on the coin and you hit Boggspine Knuckles, then you just play it on 4, coin out Tiny Toys, and it's really nice. But yeah, overall I think the deck has a lot of merit. In particular, I was doing really good against Paladin, but definitely want to avoid rogues. Maybe there's some way to make this deck a little bit better against rogues, but I'm not really sure what it would be.